Hey everyone, welcome back to Bryan's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. I hope everyone's doing well. Today we are going back to Yosemite National Park. We are going to be talking about 3 very mysterious disappearances that all occurred in and around the same time. However, they were all on separate solo hikes. They didn't know each other, and these are very lesser known cases. I found these doing some research on some other cases this past summer, and I just found a lot of very bizarre things about it, which is not uncommon, as we all know, in Yosemite National Park. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure many of you are probably aware, Yosemite is in California, and it's just surrounded with many, many disappearances over the years. Many of these brought to light by Mr. Politis. It's just one of those places that for some reason all this weird stuff seems to happen, although it is a beautiful park. I'm not going to lie. I've been there myself. There's over 760 miles of various trails, beautiful waterfalls, huge, half dome trees, all kinds of wonderful things. So I'm not in any way fear-mongering it. It's an awesome park to visit as long as you're safety conscious and you take the proper steps to get ready for a trip, especially if you're going to be a solo hiker. Now, the first case I want to discuss is the disappearance of James Michael Millett Jr. He was 39 years old when he went missing. This is a very strange case, and I'll explain why. He had planned a day hike of Upper Yosemite Falls on August 11th. However, he never returned to his vehicle. This was 2015. His car was parked along one of the trailheads on Tioga Road. Now, unfortunately, the rangers didn't give any more information. I'll have some various maps up as always, but you'll see there's a lot of different trailheads along this road. Now, I kind of surmised and guessed based on where he was found, where his car was found, but again, there was very little information released on this case. They found his vehicle roughly 3 weeks after it had been originally parked, and that's when they started the investigation. So we don't know when he actually disappeared, sometime between when he left his vehicle there, this is another picture of him, and when he disappeared. The spokespersons for the rangers gave very small details. They said that when they first found the car, they weren't even sure if it was someone missing. They thought maybe it was somebody on an extended backpacking trip, or even that the car might have been abandoned. After a couple days, they finally ruled that out, but it wasn't until August 31st of 2015 that they actually started their search. Now, they went to the area of Yosemite Falls. The reason being is because inside his vehicle, they found a note which indicated that he was going to do a day hike of the Yosemite Falls areas. So that's where they conducted their search. Now, roughly the second day after they started this search, they found his remains. They only said that it was somewhere in the North Dome area. Now, this is where I have a lot of issues with this case. Millett was described as an experienced traveler. He was from the San Francisco Bay Area. He had been here before. He was familiar with hiking. And again, it wasn't until almost 20 days later that they even started the search. That's okay. I understand things happen. What really concerns me in this case is that all the secrecy surrounding it. Not only that, the area that he was supposedly found in is very, very well traveled. It's not like he was found out in the middle of nowhere or off the beaten path. He was found in an area where people go all the time. It's a very well-marked trail. So that's one thing. Now, when they did find his remains, he was airlifted by helicopter. However, all that the rangers would say was that they were going to be conducting further investigations. They did not release any cause of death. They didn't say whether foul play was involved or any animals. It was like that was it. That was pretty much the end of them reporting to the media. So all we really know was this man went out for a hike on August 11th, 2015. His car wasn't even really noticed until 2 weeks later. And then they started a search. They found his remains 2 days after they started the search, which to me seems a little bizarre, again, because of where he was found. During the first day of the search, they had put posters up all in and around the North Dome Trail and Upper Yosemite Falls, and they were asking other hikers for information if they had seen this person. However, then after they did find him, they just blew off all those people. They wouldn't answer any questions. It's just bizarre. Why the secrecy? Now, it's possible you could say that maybe he was attacked by an animal and they didn't want to scare people off, but you'd think that they'd want to warn people so that there wouldn't be more media stuff going on at Yosemite. I don't know. What's even more bizarre, this man, Timothy Nolan, 36, who was an experienced backpacker from Orange County, California, he had received a wilderness permit to backpack in various areas, including Tuolumne Meadows, from September 1st through the 4th of 2015. However, unfortunately, he never came back. His family obviously contacted the authorities. They reported him missing. After Timothy failed to return home by September 9th, they launched a huge, extensive search, including ground teams. Again, they had dogs, park helicopters. However, even with all these efforts, they did not find him. It was actually other hikers and campers visiting the park that found his remains on September 15th of 2015, which to me is also a little bizarre because they found him in a very well-trafficked area. He was ultimately found in part of the High Sierra Camp Loop. Now I'm going to have some maps up because this is a big loop in a big area. Again, that's all the information that they gave. We don't know exactly which point. However, we do know that this area is very frequented. People were camping and hiking in and out of that area. They did ask several people and interview hikers, and of course no one said they saw anything. No one had any other information. But again, here you can see all those green dotted lines. Those are all trails in and around the High Sierra Camp Loop. So it's hard to say where exactly he was found. It's also noteworthy that just like in the other case, in 2016 and I believe 17, people trying to investigate this case further filed for a Freedom of Information Act, and that request was for various law enforcement reports on Mr. Timothy Nolan, and that was of course denied as well. Just like in the previous case, no manner of death or circumstances was ever released. Very little information was ever released to the media. We still don't know exactly where his remains were found. And to me, I just don't understand the secrecy. If it was just a fall or something, why not just explain it like in most cases? Why the secrecy and mystery surrounding it? Like I said, I'll have more information in my sources in the description. Most of them came from archives, but even when you Google something, any of these cases, this is all that'll come up. It'll have the person's name, a little bit of information, and that's it. It'll just say no further details. Yes, I do know that the National Park Service kind of has this reputation of not releasing information. There's been many cases in the past where they refused to give Mr. Politis information that he was reporting on. I've never spoken to any family member that didn't want to know the details of what happened. Maybe you guys have some theories or thoughts. As always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, so definitely reach out. Unfortunately, that wasn't the last case of a bizarre disappearance in Yosemite during that month. Matthew Baldwin, who's only 24 years old at the time of his disappearance, he was a graduate student at the University of Nevada in Reno. He was very well respected, very well liked. He was a good student. He was last seen on August 25th of 2015 by some of his friends before what they said he was leaving, but he didn't tell them where he was going. In fact, it would be the fateful day where he was going to Yosemite National Park. This case, we really don't know much. I do know that the rangers from the Yosemite National Park were handling the investigation. One of the spokespersons said that Baldwin's car was found near the Tamarack Flat campgrounds, which is a very popular area. However, his remains were found near the El Capitan Gully. Now, these are some maps I have. So that's a map of where his campground was. It was roughly maybe a 7-hour hike if he was going to hike that, roughly 5 miles away from where his car was found. Yes, it's plausible that he possibly could have hiked that. However, what doesn't make sense is he wasn't found until almost 14 days after he went missing, and he was only planning on doing a day hike. What happened? He was also found in a very well-traveled, very popular trail, and this was in and around Labor Day when the park experiences a huge influx of people. It just doesn't make any sense, and like the other cases that we've discussed here today, they released no information to the public, no cause of death, no exact location. However, it is interesting to note, they did say that the Mariposa County Sheriff's Office is the acting coroner on the case, which, FYI, they were the acting coroner on all the other cases we discussed as well. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know if that's just the location that they take the remains in that particular area. Just something seems off about all these cases. The fact that they were all found and they all passed away within a couple of weeks of each other. Also, the fact that the media was kept out of the loop and that they didn't release any details. And all the cases have the same thing. We're continuing an investigation. No further details are available. And that's it. And since those times, it's like those cases were just swept under the rug. As I stated, there are some people that have continued to look into these cases. There are some people that made some headway, especially in the Timothy Nolan case. This one organization that posts different web accounts, they said that they kind of could tell how he ended up in the spot that they thought he was found in. However, they had no answer to the cause of death, what possibly could have happened, why the authorities kept the public out of it, why these cases were just surrounded with secrecy. It's hard to say. Now, granted, it is very possible that this is all just a coincidence. It's possible that there could have been an animal attack involved. Like I said earlier, maybe the park didn't want to spook everybody. But to me, that sounds counterintuitive. You'd think they'd want to warn people. They could have just been slips and falls. I don't think that some of these make sense, though, because these were such highly trafficked areas that all these people were found in. But again, I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on all these cases. Definitely leave me some comments. I want to dedicate this video to James Millett Jr., Timothy Nolan, Matthew Baldwin, their family and friends, everybody who knew them, and of course, I'm sure misses them a lot. And hopefully one day, or maybe you have already gotten the answers, but if not, I really hope you do get those answers that you so lovingly deserve. Thank you all for watching, as always. Special thank you to co.ag for always providing this awesome background music. I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me till the end. I really appreciate it. Definitely let me know some comments or feedback on these cases if you have any. These are lesser known cases and I wanted to cover them because obviously they occurred in a major national park. Also one that is already surrounded with various mysteries that I'm sure a lot of you know about, a lot that I've talked about on my channel. I have those in the different playlists. But if you guys have any questions, I've been to Yosemite National Park a couple of different times. Like I said in the beginning, I'm definitely not trying to fearmonger by doing these videos. It's a beautiful park to visit. It's just like anything else. You need to respect it. And with that, I wanted to let everyone know, I mentioned this in the last video, I'm doing another coin giveaway. It's a 3-inch, 3-ounce bronze coin. It's the Centennial Yosemite coin. It's a beautiful minted coin, minted in the US Mint. I believe the Denver or Pennsylvania Mint. But of course, it will come with the gift box. It comes sealed, wrapped. However, it does come with a little stand if you want to display it somewhere. It's just a very nice token. I think you guys would like it. All you need to do to participate is simply leave a comment with a case suggestion, feedback on another case, cases that you enjoyed me covering, cases that you like me to cover, or anything, and just say that you want to be entered in the bronze coin Yosemite giveaway. All right, guys, see you next time.